Welcome to the Wisdom of the Zodiac. Today I would like to speak to you about preparation for the full moon. This is going to be taken from the Wisdom of the Zodiac by Torquem Serdarian, Volume 1, and specifically Chapter 1 of Volume 1. I would like to talk to you today how to prepare to observe the full moons, and specifically the first 3 full moons of the Zodiac. Now, conscious observation of full moon cycles is an appropriate practice for anyone who wants to have more meaning in his or her life. So if you want more conscious meaning, conscious living, then it is suggested to us by the Ageless Wisdom teachings to observe the full moon periods, specifically the first 3. And if we do that year after year, life after life, we will see that we have a deepening wisdom, more hope and faith and joy in our life, more purposeful living, which means we are doing what we love and enjoy and expresses our creative talents and genius. And best of all, we have an expanded consciousness. I like that term because it means to me that my relationship, my interaction with life is deeper, more complex, more knowing. It is not just accidental. So observation of the full moon cycles puts us in touch with the wisdom that is inherent in life. Sometimes we forget that there's deep wisdom in life. There are cycles that show us what life is all about. And to be tuned into those is a very important and wonderful moment of our life when we realize in silence and in the changing of the environment and the cycles of life that there's deep wisdom. So I'd like to speak today about preparation, specifically preparation of the 3 major full moons. And this is taken from page 15. Let me read a few paragraphs and explain. So to start with, there are 12 signs of the zodiac. In any given year, we celebrate 12 or sometimes 13. There's a repeat of one of the full moons. 12 or 13 full moon cycles. The spiritual new year begins with Aries, and the first 3 months, Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, are considered holy months. They're very important because they are the setting of the standard for the rest of the year for us. So the more deeply you engaged in the meaning and the depth of these full moons, your life will show a change by the time you come around to the end of the cycle at Pisces the year after. So what is it that is important about Aries? And by the way, sometimes Aries is celebrated in March, the end of March, sometimes April. So sometimes they are called the April, May, and June full moons. It doesn't matter when they occur. It is important to realize that it is Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. So Aries. Aries full moon is related to the resurrection of the life that is in every form. So because it comes in the springs, it is very easy for us to see new leaves coming out of trees and plants, new flowers blooming, birds singing, and so on. All of life comes to life again after the winter quiet. And so we can see that in every life form, the spring is bringing about a resurrection, and it can do the same in us. It's very important for us to realize that we are part of all of life, and we can bring that sense of resurrection to our life. We are advised to start the annual process of resurrecting our nature at this full moon. So the Aries is going to set the tone for you. So take time during the Aries period and make sure that you can resurrect yourself from what? Several things here. Materialism, being focused on matter, being engrossed in matter and worry and stress, and resurrect from separatism, that you don't see your life in the larger setting, that we feel separate, lonely, alone, and many kinds of attachments and identifications. So we are going to focus ourselves within our true self. How much of our life is engrossed in the past, in our past expressions, in our past experiences, and we regret all the wrong things that we did, opportunities we lost. We can't really recapture the past. any more than we can bring to life dead leaves, but we can do something about now and in the future. So if we take this consciously and try to resurrect ourselves from our past worn out patterns, we will see something new emerging and blooming within us. So that's Aries. Now what do we do at Taurus, the next full moon? This is a very sacred month, and it is called sometimes the Festival of Buddha, the Festival of Wesak. The first one is called the Festival of Christ or Resurrection. So the second one, Taurus, is the Festival of Enlightenment. We're bringing more light to the condition of our life, like shining a big light bulb on the condition of our life and seeing it for what it is in truth. Enlightenment, what is that? It is the ability to understand your path, your future, and your destination. Can you imagine how much joy and optimism and faith we have when we know we are on the right path? And all, if not most, of our problems and our worries are due to the fact that we don't know where we're going. We don't know our path, our future, our destination. We worry about it. Where are we going? So this is the time to ask, where is my path? Where is my future? Where is my destination? Once you know your future, your destination and your path, you have some kind of light. It's true, you have a light. You know where you're going, the direction. And through that light you can travel on a higher path because you can see where you're going. And in order to do that, you have to come in contact with something that is essential in you, and I'll talk about this more at the time of Wesak. The third major full moon is the major full moon of Gemini. This is sometimes called the Festival of Humanity because it is at this time where you release all the unifying universal thoughts and vision and plans that you have made for your life. All humanity will eventually celebrate the concept of one humanity in one world. I gave this a lot of thought, and I thought, this doesn't mean one government, one religion, one culture, not at all. Why would we want that? There are millions of kinds of people all over the world, hundreds and hundreds of nations and national identities. Why would we want to lose all of them? Or religious identities? All of them come from one source, and that is the key, that at this time of Gemini, we understand the concept of one humanity and one world, so that what we do is good for us and good for everybody else in the world. So why should we celebrate full moons? This is a good question that's asked on this in this chapter, chapter 1, page 16. We are told that at the exact moment of the full moon, when the sun shines its rays on the moon in its maximum degree, the moon's influence on the earth is at its lowest. As a result, cosmic currents bringing inspiration, impressions, and revelations are able to reach the earth more directly. So one of the great teachers once said, it is as if a wind blew the door or the windows open and a breath of fresh air came into our life. I think we can all use that from time to time. So this is that current that you are going to observe and look forward to and capture. Capture it so you can ride that wave. This is a beautiful paragraph that I'd like to read for you. These cosmic currents accumulate around the sun, and the sun focuses them on the solar system, our solar system. At the Earth's full moon time, the sun is better able to transmit these currents and uplifting energies to the Earth. At this moment, the disciples of the world can contact these energies, absorb them into their centers, and later distribute them. So when you think about this period of each full moon, specifically the first three, think of the three-part preparation, contact, distribution. This is the important three-part series that we observe every full moon. So we are going to take full advantage of this time of opportunity. And how are you going to do that? Today the focus is on preparation. Very important to prepare. Just like you would prepare for an exam, you would prepare to give an interview when you're looking for a job, you prepare to get married, to build a house, to change your life. It is very important that you prepare and have a reality check. That's what I like to call it, a reality check for a period of 2 to 3 days before the full moon. Or if you really want a serious change in your life, consider taking the entire period of Aries to prepare. So what are you going to do? Excuse me. The preparation for the full moon is physical, emotional, and mental. And why is that? Because these are the vehicles of expression, and they need to be put in such a tune and comfort and joy level so that you are not focused on them. All the minutiae of life and its problems don't take your full 100% concentration and attention. So you're going to put those 3 bodies in a nice state of well-being so that they don't basically bother you. They're just going to be in a calm and serene state. So we're looking then for the physical body to prepare for in the first instance, and you're going to take proper rest. I know that all of you have cell phones, internet, children, families, noise, traffic, going to work, worries, and so on. But if you can, during the 2 to 3 days before the full moon, or if you're really ambitious, the whole month, which, by the way, let me put that in a parentheses, it is very important for those who are serious disciples to take more than 2 or 3 days, perhaps a whole month, or maybe a whole year of preparation. You're going to observe proper rest. One of the ways to properly rest is physically to get a good night's sleep, but another way is to say your 5 daily disciplines of worship. I've talked about that before. There's a little booklet that's on ebooks, or you can order from us, and they give you 5 daily disciplines where you just close your eyes and you tune in with that movement of the sun through the universe through 5 principles. It's beautiful, and it's something that I could talk about later, but I've written about it in a current blog, and you can really read about those 5 daily disciplines. So do that 5 daily discipline, that moments of rest. It is less than 60 seconds of quiet, poised rest where you focus your heart and your soul on the proper rhythm of the cosmos. And get a good night's sleep. Turn the TV off, turn your phone off, your radio and your internet, turn those off. Go to bed and get a good night's rest. This is so important to us. And all the brain work, the science work, the neurology and the physiology of the brain is telling us that proper rest every single night is essential for your health and well-being and the function of your mind. So your brain influences how your mind functions, and the mind, as it reaches to higher states of consciousness, has to work it through your physical brain. So that physical brain and physical body has to be at rest. The next thing is to make sure that during the time of your preparation, you refrain from drinking alcohol, smoking, and taking any drugs whatsoever. In fact, drugs of any kind, recreational drugs, marijuana especially, is really, really dangerous for your health. We have some wonderful information on that, and if you want to know about that, and you're wondering about how alcohol, drugs, and smoking affect your life and your brain, then write to us and we'll tell you about it. Such substances reduce the sensitivity of the physical mechanism. They shut it down, actually. And so how are you going to find the direction and the purpose of your life without a clear mind, clear, healthy brain that's functioning? So that's the first. So you're going to eat well, good fresh air, moments of silence, good night's sleep, refrain from eating and ingesting alcohol, drugs, anything that changes the chemistry of your brain. The next preparation is emotional preparation. Why? Because we want a silent, quiet, and serene emotional body that doesn't have fear in it, anger, hatred, jealousy, revenge, and desires to control and make other people do what you want them to do. All these desires are a result from attachment to form rather than to the life within the form. Think about that. We are playing a power play. Who's the boss? By trying to express our life in fear and anger and hatred and revenge and desire and pushing people, even sometimes ourselves. So we are going to watch for that, and those things bring up emotional trauma in our life. So during the full moon periods, we are going to have our emotions be serene and quiet and not really concerned with these petty, small things that really, at the end of the day, make no difference for us, but make us miserable, in fact. We are going to eliminate these things, but I know and you know that we can't eliminate them all at once, but we can eliminate them one after another. Where do these come from? Fear, anger, hatred, jealousy, revenge, and desire all comes from our sense of separateness from life. When we are in tune with life, in that moment of prayer and meditation, you don't have fear and anger and hatred anymore. You'll see how your life changes. So the third preparation is the mental nature. And these are, let me just say, they're not easy, but they are doable because people have done them before us. And you know people who have done them, and you have done them at some measure yourself. So you are going to prepare your mental nature. Look what it says here on the bottom of page 17 and the top of page 18. Very, very significant. I want you to really think about this. The first thing you must try to eliminate is your showing off and vanity. We show off in so many subtle ways. We show off by correcting people, how they dress, how they walk, what they think, what they say. We always want to make a judgment and be so smart and know it all. When somebody tells us something about their problems, we want to immediately solve it and tell them what we think and how it is. So this is saying, stop it. Try to eliminate that. Showing off and vanity. Vanity is so important. We think we are something that we're not, or can do something that we can't, or we are able to do something but we really can't. So it's a real sense of coming to terms with reality. That doesn't mean you can't do anything, but when you start with a sense of reality, where you go from there is going to be much better. Vanity is an attitude of inflated self-importance, which means you fall in love with yourself, your personality nature. Vanity means to be attached to your shell instead of your true self. Wow. So we don't want to be attached to the outer form, because the outer form will age, fall, and disintegrate. Nothing will remain of it. What will remain is your true self, what you have recorded in your heart and in your subtle mechanism, all that is true and beautiful and good. So you must overcome your sense of self-importance without losing your true identity. Your true identity is not in your physical looks, your talents on the outside. It is deep inside of you, and that's what you want to hold on to. So we must remove these disturbing traits. And why is that? Because if they are not eliminated, every time, now listen to this carefully, every time you receive a higher energy, it will stimulate your negative traits. So you will see people showing off, being emotionally unstable, physically unstable during these full moon times, specifically during the 3 major full moon times, if they are not taking care and preparing their vehicles. So you are going to prepare your vehicles, and what happens? Then when you make a contact can be a breakthrough in your nature. A breakthrough in your nature. Look at what you want to break through in your nature, what changes you want, what new direction you want, what healing you want in your life, what kind of love and forgiveness you want in your life, and this is the time that you can prepare and achieve that. So the exact moment of the full moon is a very sacred moment. It is held to be sacred by the ancient wisdom traditions. It is not howling at the moon or worshiping the moon. Those are just silly games that people play. It is to take notice, to develop a sharp, intuitive understanding of the wisdom that is existing in nature. And you can do that in silence, in quiet, and in quieting the 3 bodies of the personality, your physical, emotional, mental bodies, quieting them so that they no longer will deceive you into the wrong direction. You will become a source of freedom and goodness for your life and for the lives of your family and other people. So what will you do with these higher energies when you receive them at the full moon? You will become a broadcasting station. Even if we don't say anything, and we can say a lot nowadays on our Facebooks and internet and emails and blogs, we can certainly be a broadcasting station if we want, for beauty and for goodness, for righteousness and for joy and for freedom. These are really important. Be a broadcasting station for these principles so that everything that comes out of you is coloring who you are and coloring your voice and your eyes and your expressions. So make them beautiful. Be a broadcasting station for your insights, for your visions. And if you don't want to be a vocal broadcasting station, you can be a silent broadcasting station by sending prayers and healing energies to people anywhere in the world, people you know and don't know. When people do that, they experience great sense of joy, great sense of unity with other people. You can be a broadcasting station for healing, bringing people together, for great ideas, for optimism and faith, for people who need it right now. Can people use your optimism and faith anywhere in the world? You bet they can. And they can do it if you become a broadcasting station of your true essence, because your true essence is beautiful. Instead of broadcasting nasty, unnecessary talk, slander and criticism, we can be broadcasting beauty and goodness to everyone in the world. Here's a beautiful paragraph that I'd like to read before I leave you with this thought. I think it's very, very serious, and it's the bottom of the page 20 and 21. Do you know what you are leaving to your children? Now, it doesn't matter if you have your own children. It makes no difference. The children of the world are your children. Of course, it is a joy to have children, but what are you leaving them? A polluted planet? Polluted air? Water and earth? Increasing numbers of nuclear weapons and radioactivity? Why are we giving our children such a terrible inheritance? Good question, isn't it? It is because scientists and politicians did not think in terms of the future, because our leaders were not purified enough to think about the future. What is going to happen to our children 100 years from now? Will they be able to clean this planet? Well, I hope so. But it can't wait until they become adults. We have to do it now ourselves. We are the adults who are in charge of the planet right now. We can make a big difference, and that starts with you. Clean up your whole inside, physical, emotional, mental. Link up to the higher spiritual wisdom and realities, and make that part of your monthly celebration. The full moon period is a period where you can come to your senses. That is a very important statement that's being made here, very important. It's not a religion or a cult, it is a science. It is the science of energies, and it is the science of cycles and seasons of the whole universe. So as we approach the 3 major full moons of Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, start making a plan in your life to celebrate each full moon in a conscious way. Put time aside every month for a few moments every day. Begin with a preparation. Prepare your physical vehicle, emotions in your mind, your surroundings, and every day take time to sit in quiet serenity and ponder upon where your life is going. So prepare during Aries, during Taurus, and during Gemini, so that your entire life cycle in the next 12 months will be one of building the most beautiful house that you will live in. Your physical house, your family house, the house that is our planet. So thank you very much for being here and being with me. And I wish you a most beautiful 3-month period. And I hope to see you the next time. Thank you. And see you next time. Bye.